The Democratic Republic of Ghana. Ghana, officially the Republic of Ghana, is a country along the Gulf of Guinea and the Atlantic Ocean, in the subregion of West Africa. Spanning a landmass of 238,535 kilometers squared, Ghana is bordered by the Ivory Coast in the west, Burkina Faso in the north, Togo in the east, and the Gulf of Guinea and the Atlantic Ocean in the south. Ghana means warrior king in the Soninke language. Although relatively small in area and population, Ghana is one of the leading countries of Africa, partly because of its considerable natural wealth and partly because it was the first black African country south of the Sahara to achieve independence from colonial rule. The first permanent state in the territory of present-day Ghana dates back to the 11th century, the Bano state. Numerous kingdoms and empires emerged over the centuries, of which the most powerful were the Kingdom of Dagbon and the Ashanti Empire. Beginning in the 15th century, the Portuguese Empire, followed by numerous other European powers, contested the area for trading rights until the British ultimately established control of the coast by the late 19th century. Following over a century of native resistance, what are now Ghana's borders follow the lines of what were four separate British colonies: Gold Coast, Ashanti, the Northern Territories, and British Togoland. These were unified as a independent dominion within the Commonwealth of Nations on the 6th of March, 1957. Ghana's population is of approximately 30 million, spans a variety of ethnic, linguistic, and religious groups. According to the 2010 census, 71.2% of the population was Christian, 16.6% was Muslim, and 5.2% practiced traditional faiths. Its diverse geography and ecology ranges from coastal savannas to tropical rainforests. Ghana is a unitary constitutional democracy led by a president who is both the head of state and the head of the government. Ghana's growing economic prosperity and democratic political system have made it a regional power of West Africa. It is a member of the Non-Aligned Movement, the African Union, the Economic Community of West African States, the Group of 24, and the Commonwealth of Nations. The etymology of the name Ghana means warrior king, and was the title accorded to the kings of the medieval Ghana Empire in West Africa. But the empire was further north than modern nation of Ghana. In the region of Guinea, Ghana was known for its large gold usage, and hence was named the Land of Gold by the Arabs during the trans-Saharan trade. Ghana was recognized as one of the great kingdoms in Bilad el-Sudan by the 9th century. Ghana was inhabited in the Middle Ages and the Age of Discovery by a number of ancient, predominantly Akan kingdoms in the southern and central territories. This included the Ashanti Empire, the Kanawu, the Bonomen, the Dinkiya, and the Mekessim Kingdom. Although the area of present-day Ghana in West Africa has experienced many population movements, the Akans were firmly settled in the 15th century CE by the early 11th century. The Akans were firmly established in the Akan state, called Bonomen, for which the Brong Ahafo region is named. European contact. The Akan trade with the European states began after contact with the Portuguese in the 15th century. Early European contact by the Portuguese people who came to the Gold Coast region in the 15th century to trade and then establish the Portuguese Gold Coast, Costa de Ouro, focused on the extensive availability of gold. The Portuguese built a trading lodge at a coastal settlement called Andomanash, the Perpetual Drink, which they renamed to Sao Jorge da Mina. In 1481, King John II of Portugal commissioned Don Diego de Zambuja to build the Elmina Castle, which was completed in 3 years. By 1598, the Dutch had joined the Portuguese in the gold trade, establishing the Dutch Gold Coast, and building forts at Fort Comenda and Cormansi. In 1617, the Dutch captured the Almini Castle from the Portuguese and axed him in 1642, Fort St. Anthony. Other European traders had joined in gold trading by the mid-17th century, most notably the Swedes establishing the Swedish Gold Coast, and Denmark and Norway establishing the Danish Gold Coast and the Norwegian Gold Coast. Portuguese merchants, impressed with the gold resources in the area, named it Costa de Ouro or Gold Coast. Also beginning in the 17th century, in addition to the gold trade, Portuguese, Dutch, English, and French traders also participated in the Atlantic slave trade in this area. So basically what happened was at some point Ghana refused to share their gold with Europe, and so during the scramble for Africa, it was decided that they weren't allowed to be independent anymore. Transition to independence. In 1947, the newly formed United Gold Coast Convention, UGCC, led by the Big Six, called for self-government within the shortest time possible following the Gold Coast legislative election in 1946. Kwame Nkrumah, a Ghanaian nationalist who led Ghana from 1957 to 1966 as the country's first prime minister and president, formed the Convention People's Party, CPP, in 1949 with the motto, Self-Government Now. The party initiated a positive action campaign involving nonviolent protests, strikes, and non-cooperation with British authorities. Nkrumah was arrested and sentenced to 1 year imprisonment during this time. In the Gold Coast February 1951 general election, he was elected to parliament and released from prison to become leader of government of business. He became prime minister of the Gold Coast in 1952. He improved the infrastructure of the country, and his Africanization policies created even better career opportunities for the Ghanaians. On the 6th of March 1957, at 12 of midnight, the Gold Coast, Ashanti, and Northern Territories of British Togoland was unified as a single independent dominion within the British Commonwealth under the name Ghana. This was done under the Ghana Independence Act of 1957. The current flag of Ghana, consisting of the colors red, gold, green, and a black star, dates back to this unification. It was designed by Theodosia Salome Okoh. The red represents the blood that was shed towards independence. The gold represents the industrial minerals and wealth of Ghana. The green symbolizes the rich grasslands of Ghana, and the black star is a symbol of the Ghanaian people and the African emancipation. On the 1st of July 1960, following the Ghanaian constitutional referendum and Ghanaian presidential election, Nkrumah declared Ghana as a republic and assured the presidency. 6th of March is the nation's Independence Day, and 1st of July is now celebrated as Republic Day. At the time of independence, Nkrumah declared, "My first objective is to abolish from Ghana poverty, ignorance, and disease. We shall measure our progress with the improvement in the health of our people. By the number of children in school and by the quality of their education, by the availability of water and electricity in our towns and villages, and by the happiness which our people take in being able to manage their own affairs. The welfare of our people is our chief pride, and that is that the government will ask to be, and it is by this that the government will ask to be judged." Nkrumah was the first African head of state to promote the concept of Pan-Africanism, which he had been introduced to during his studies at Lincoln University, Pennsylvania, in the United States, at the time when Marcus Garvey was becoming famous for his Back to Africa movement. And now we move on to our spotlight topic, the food. The typical staple foods in the southern part of Ghana include cassava and plantain. In the northern part, the main staple foods include millet and sorghum. Yam, maize, beans are used across Ghana as staple foods. Sweet potatoes and cocoyam are also important in the Ghanaian diet and cuisine. With the advent of globalization, cereals such as rice and wheat have been increasingly incorporated into Ghanaian cuisine. The foods below represent Ghanaian dishes made out of these staple foods. Akple. A traditional meal of the Ewe is made with corn flour and can be eaten with pepper sauces, stews, or any soup. It is typically served with okra soup or herring stew. It is never prepared in the same way as banku. An important distinguishing factor between the two products is that banku requires a special pre-formulated watery material called slightly fermented corn cassava dough mix. Number 2. Angwamu, also referred to as oiled rice. This is unlike fried rice, which you cook the rice before frying. Oiled rice is cooked by first onion frying the oil and then adding the water after the onions have browned. This will give the rice a different fragrance. The rice is then cooked in the water oil mixture to give the rice an oily feel when ready. It may be cooked with vegetables or minced meat. To add to your taste, it is mostly served with earthenware ground pepper with either tinned sardines or fried eggs complementing it. Ngumu, also known as palm rice, is an alternative to the oiled rice. This is cooked with palm oil instead of cooking oil. The taste is determined by the type of palm oil that is used. Kokonte, or abete, from the dried peeled cassava powder, usually served alongside groundnut soup, consisting of a variety of red meats such as tripe, lamb, and smoked catfish. Fufu, pounded cassava and plantain, or pounded yam and plantain, or pounded cocoyam taro. This side dish is always accompanied with one of the many varieties of Ghanaian soups. Ampeje, a boiled yam, also be made with plantain, cocoyam, potatoes, yam, or cassava. This side dish is traditionally eaten with fish stew containing tomatoes, oils, or spices. And finally, my personal favorite, yam fofo. Fofo is made with yam instead of cassava or plantain or cocoyam. The soft dough is traditionally eaten with any of the varieties of Ghanaian soup. It is popular in northern and southeastern Ghana. And with that, I would like to thank you for your attention. I know that I know my editing skills are not the best, but that's just because this is the first time I've used this project. My sources were Britannica, Wikipedia, the Commonwealth, and thank you very much for your attention, and goodbye.